This fitment video is brought to you by Ryco TV. In this episode, we'll be showing you how to install a fuel filter retainer ring on a Toyota Corolla. The fuel filter assembly for this vehicle is located under the rear seat. It's a pain to get to, and it's even tougher to see anything from this angle. So we'll use a demonstration tank in order to perform the installation, and you'll see it all clearly. So this is what we'll be looking at once we've removed the rear seat and the hoses from the assembly. The ribs on top of the retainer ring are all exactly the same width apart, except for these three we've marked in blue. The center one is the indicator that needs to line up with the marker on the fuel tank. First up, we'll install the O-ring. We'll make sure it's nice and flat and firmly seated. Now we can begin to reinstall the fuel filter assembly. Just underneath the top, or the flange, there are these little feet, and what we want to do with those is line them up and slot them into these little notches that are on the fuel tank. Once the assembly is back in place, make sure that the spacing between the top and the O-ring is even all the way around. Earlier, we coloured these indicators in blue. These indicators need to be around 2 or 3 ribs up from the marker that's just underneath his right hand. Once the ring's in place, apply some pressure and wait for an audible click. If you don't hear the click, readjust a little and apply some more pressure. If you don't hear that click, then the retainer ring is not on the thread correctly. But once you have it right, you can hand tighten the retainer ring 1/2 turn until the indicators match up with the marker. In order to fully tighten the retainer ring, we're going to need to use the special tool. This could very well be the longest part of the installation for you, keeping in mind that you're actually working inside a car. These sections of the clamp fit neatly over the ribs on the retainer ring. You do need to put a little bit of pressure on the top and the bottom in order to keep them flush, but once they're locked in, they're solid. Okay, so you get the idea. Let's just fast forward to the next part. Okay, now that we have the clamp section of the special tool in place, we need to take the handle, fit it to the clamp and rotate the retainer ring 1 full turn so that our blue indicators match up again with the marker. Once again, as you're working in a real car, this section could prove challenging. Finally. Okay, done. Well, almost. The final thing we have to be certain of is the spacing. The spacing between the retainer ring and the fuel tank needs to be absolutely, positively even. And then the job's done. Brought to you by Ryco TV.